Hey there, Stampers. It's Susan with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. So last week I was saying how my upline demo group is doing weekly challenges, and so this is the second one that I've been given. So it says find your biggest stamp set in your collection and make something with it. So I found some big stamps that I've barely ever used, because that's kind of my own little twist on this. And it happens to be Thursday evening. It's after 9 o'clock and it's due by midnight, so I kind of have to do this now if I'm going to make the deadline. Not that it's a big thing if I don't, but I'm trying to work within the guidelines here. So I'm going to use definitely Dahlia and Thankful Thoughts, and I'm going to try to use this Thank You So Much stamp. So two very bold images. Now the other thing I've decided ahead of time is I'm going to use black, white, and red together as my accents, and I'm going to stick with just basic black ink. I'm using Memento Black. Two reasons. I am getting ready for a stamp weekend, and almost every ink pad and every clear block that I would mount stamps on is in use and ready, packed away to go. So another reason to use the biggest ones is I have to use these big blocks, which I don't typically use on my cards. So that worked out well. Okay, so I'm going to use, like I said, black, white, and red. And I happen to have black, white, and red on my scrap table, so that's what I have here. Now I folded this one in half, and I think I've already cut it down. No, I didn't cut it down yet. I think I'm going to cut it down and mount it on the black in the back. But we'll see about that in a minute. Let's see. I think my Thank You So Much will fit on this piece of scrap white. It will. So let me do that one first, because that's the easy one, I guess. So sometimes it's good to limit yourself to your materials and your colors. It helps you work outside of your comfort zone, and you'll be surprised what you can create. So here I go, stamping that great big giant Thank You So Much on that piece of white. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and ink up this Dahlia with black ink as well. Now you might notice I am pressing my ink pad to my stamp instead of the other way around. With these big stamps, sometimes you get it inked up better if you do it this way. I also just inked this ink pad, and I want to make sure that it's pushing the ink into the stamp where I want it. So, make sure I've got ink on most of it. Takes a little while. Alright, so all inked up, I think. So here's my, I'm going to open this up just because it's got a lot of fold in it. So I've opened it up. This is going to be the front. You can hear me huffing to re-moisten the ink. I'm not really worried. I'm going to stamp this a little more to the center, but I'm not worried about it filling the whole card because it's not going to. It's just going to be a giant element of the card. So I'm pressing that down to make sure I get good pressure on the whole stamp. I'm trying not to rock it because I don't want edges. Well, I got some edges, but I can live with that. Okay, so I've got this giant flower, I've got this giant tag. So what I was talking about before was maybe mounting it on a color. I think I'm going to stick with black. So let me bring my paper cutter in. So as you know, our standard card is 5.5 by 4.25. So if I'm lucky, my black is just shy of 4.25. I can live with that. So 5.5. Okay, so now I've got a mount, and I'm going to trim the card down. I started at 4.25, so I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to trim it down to 4, and I'm going to trim it down to 5.25. So you don't cut off where your fold is on your card. Alright, let's see how this looks. I'm going to score this because it's hasn't been creased yet. That will help me in my working. Alright, so now I can center the card on that back mount, and so then when we open our card, ta-da! So let me go ahead and, well, it already is now on the table because it's out on my other table, so I'm going to use liquid glue. Work just as fine. So I'm going to turn this one over. I'm going to add, I hope, some adhesive to the back. Now this is liquid glue, so it's pretty forgiving mounting it. I'm going to flip this over and I'll be able to slide it around a little bit to position it if I need to, but I'm going to try to center it as I go. Okay. So I press that down. Now I have options. I can go with the card in this direction so it opens up and down, or I can go with the card this direction so it opens side to side. Now I do have this thank you still to stick on there. It's going to cover up a lot of that flower. So maybe I just want to put it on the inside. No, I really do want to put it on the front. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cut a piece of vellum, I think. So watch this. So this piece was 2 3/4 by roughly 3. So let me get a piece of vellum. See if I have one in my scrap bag before I cut a new one. No, doesn't look like I have one quite big enough. So let's see. Let me get a piece of vellum out of my supply shelf. So 2 3/4 by 3. So this to 3 and 2 3/4. Vellum is a cool way to add a layer without obscuring everything you've created underneath it. Now the tricky part of vellum is that when you stamp on it, you need to press firmly, but not slide. So always give yourself maybe a little practice, a little extra piece to go on. Alright, so I'm stamping this down. On that vellum. It sticks a little. There we go. Alright, so that's going to need a little time to dry, but as you can see, I can now put this over the top or on the side, and you can see I still have that whole dahlia, but I also have the thank you so much in there. So that's kind of cool. Now I didn't get any red paper in here, so that's okay. Now I'm going to use retired red ribbon, because to my knowledge, we don't currently have a red ribbon selection for use. There might be some in the holiday catalog, but I didn't purchase any, so I don't know for sure that there is. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and a smidge. So what I did was just kind of measure the width of my card there. And I'm going to get a hole punch, I hope. Yes. Alright. So, I'm going to put a little snail. No, I'm not. I'm going to put a little of this because I don't have my snail on the table. Alright. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive here. Wow, breaking all my usual rules. Okay. So that's going to hold that vellum in place. Now my vellum is still wet, so I need to be careful. Now I'm going to punch a hole, I think up here. Come on, let go. Okay. Now here's a little trick with a bow. So my ribbon's going to go in from the back and come up to the front. Okay, now I'm going to wrap it around the front. Go back in to the center of my card. Trying really careful not to smudge that black ink. And I'm going to put the other end of that ribbon through this end. So both ends of the ribbon go through the same hole, but you just have to wrap it around the card first. Then I can pull both tags up at the end there. Then, here's the great part. One goes to the left, one goes to the right, or one goes up, goes down, if that's the way you want to think about it. And you just tie it in a knot. Single knot, double knot, however you want to do it. So, no adhesive, no bunchy bow now. No, I'm not going to do that. So then I pull both tabs up together, and I'm going to cut them at the same time. That way the angles on the ends will match. Now I've got a card that's really ready to go as soon as that black ink dries. So very monochrome with some splash of red in there, but it's kind of neat. Simple, and like I said, working outside of our comfort zones is sometimes a great challenge. So there it is, there's my second challenge. So again, I used the great big thank you so much from the Thankful Thoughts, and I just also used this Definite Dahlia, and just Memento ink. So, but remember, let that ink on your vellum dry. So I hope you enjoyed this little quick challenge tutorial that I'm doing. I'll probably share this as a Stampin' Chat going on my Facebook page and my blog. So if you have any questions, just contact me at pumpkinhillstampers.com. I appreciate it. Happy stamping, everybody. Bye-bye.